Hello, and welcome. In this video, I chose to talk again about the importance of the moon, and not on a general level. I'm getting very specific here. The importance of the moon in regards to our hair. So, the moon is the bodily intelligence. The moon governs our, as I said, our bodily intelligence. And this means that whenever you cut your hair, you've got to be attentive to the moon, the position of the moon, and the phase of the moon. And this is actually magic. And in the first part of this, I'll talk more like about the phases of the moon. So you don't really need that much astrology to use this. And then in the latter part of the video, I'm going to talk about astrology in specific and the signs and how the position of the moon relates to your birth chart and how that influences you when you cut your hair. And actually, this is very deep. It's not that superficial. It's not just cutting our hair for the looks. It's a lot more than that, because our hair is very, very important. Our hair is not just, like science says that the hair is just a bunch of dead cells. It's not just that, okay? The hair is very important. The hair is a receptacle of energy, and so are nails. Ever wonder why, when you cut your nails, like after you cut your nails, don't you feel like it's almost as if you've cut your hands, like your fingers, sorry. It's almost like you feel like your fingers are shorter at that point. And maybe not enough guys will understand this, because not enough guys, like, and this is a good thing, okay, don't go that way. Guys don't really let their nails grow like very long. We do. So I know a lot of women who say the same thing, like after having very long nails and then cutting them, it feels like cutting, it doesn't feel painful, obviously, but it's like you have shorter fingers. It's like your the way you feel your fingers is different, and it really is, because the hair and the nails are energy receptors. They are like antennae. You know how, like, some insects have those little thingies with which they scan things around them. Well, basically that's how our hair and nails are for us. And there's even this story of a Native American, like, some guys snack up on him snuck up on him. Sorry, English is not my mother tongue. So basically, some guys wanted to bust in his place while he was sleeping, and he could feel them approaching. And he woke up before they got to his place, and he actually busted them. And he had long hair. Now, thing is that this guy was in the army. So after that, he cut his hair, because those are army rules. And after that, he could not sense anymore. So they did the same experiment, and he could not sense them anymore. He could not feel them approaching. And they actually got sneaky on him. So this is just one example of how important hair is. And you've got all those stories, like even in the Bible, there's that story with the king and his wife cut his hair, and they say that she cut his power. So I would love people to understand that your hair is connected to your power. And there's a reason why in some cultures they actually let their hair grow very long. It's not just for aesthetics, even though, yes, long hair is very sexy, both for girls and guys. Okay, so in this video, I'll focus on the phases of the moon and how they impact your hair. So, the moon wanes, the moon waxes, the moon is new, the moon is full. I suppose you know about the phases of the moon. So, we've got the new moon, and then after the new moon, the moon grows and gets full and then wanes and gets unseen again, and the cycle is repeated. So these are the phases. Now, if you cut your hair in between the new moon and the full moon, that energy will get imprinted in your hair. So it's the energy of growth. So if you cut your hair during waxing moon, your hair will grow faster, especially if you cut it in the first quarter. So the first quarter is basically the time from the new moon till the moon gets to the first quarter, which means it's half full. Okay, now if you cut it between the first quarter and the full moon, in between that time, this gives an energy of growth still, but not as fast, yet it will make your hair thicker. Just like the moon, because at this point the moon is bigger in the sky. So it's no longer a crescent, because in between the new moon and the first quarter, the moon is a crescent. In between the first quarter and the full moon, the moon is a gibbous. So if you cut your hair during a crescent waxing moon, your hair will grow faster. Now, if you cut your hair in between the first quarter and the full moon, which means if you cut your hair at the moment of a gibbous waxing moon, this means that you will make your hair grow fast and thick. Now, what happens if you cut it at the new moon? At the full moon? Well, it will still grow slower at this point, and it may grow very thick actually, but not quite fast. Now, if you cut your hair from the full moon till the new moon, this will actually make it grow less and less fast. It will seem like it's not growing anymore. A girl once told me that she cut her hair at some point, and it just seemed like it wasn't growing back anymore. It wasn't growing any longer. And I asked her when she cut it. She didn't know. And I told her this, and I told her, well, it might have been one of the waning phases of the moon. So basically, in the waning phases, it's the opposite of what I just described during the waxing phases. So if you cut your hair in between the full moon and the last quarter, it will slow down the growth. And if you cut your hair in between the last quarter and the new moon, it will slow down the growth even more, and it will make it actually even less thick. So obviously now you know when you want to cut your hair, and here you go, another reason to be attentive to the phases of the moon. So this is, I suppose this is where the video ends for those people who don't want to get that deep into astrology. Now, those of you who really want to get even deeper than this. So I just described the phases of the moon and what each phase will give to your hair. And this goes for nails as well. But it's even more than that, because it's not just the phases of the moon, because the moon goes through different zodiac signs. So let's say you cut your hair or nails when the moon is in Aquarius. Well, Aquarius is an energy of breaking. So I'll give you an example. I had to rectify the shape of one nail because something happened, and I had to give it a better shape, and the moon was in Aquarius, and I couldn't wait anymore, because if I were to wait, I would have, that moment when like your nail kind of gets into your clothes, somehow. I suppose you don't really understand what I mean. Never mind. And I had to cut it to rectify the shape of it at that point, and later on it broke. Just that nail. Now, my advice is this: the best energy to put into your nails on a general level, okay, this is a general level, is Gemini, because Gemini rules the hands. So if you manage to cut your nails and give them a nice shape when the moon is waxing and is in Gemini, then boom, you nail it. You hit the jackpot. For the hair, now for the hair is actually the energy of your first house, because the first house rules the head and the hair. Now, Leo also rules the hair, but I also cut my hair during a Leo moon, and I actually cut too much of it because I got very experimental. And I remembered when I was incarnate in ancient Egypt, and I wanted to style something resembling ancient Egypt hairstyles, and I actually cut too much of it, and then I regretted it. So if you're a Leo, that's an energy comfortable to you, but for me it's not. So I'm a Libra rising. For me, the best time to cut my hair is during a Libra moon, Libra waxing moon. If you're a Virgo rising, yeah, the best time to cut your hair is during a Virgo waxing moon. Why? Because, as I said, the first house describes, not just describes, the first house is the head, and that's where we have our hair. It grows from the head. And the best energy to put in your hair is the native energy of your hair, which is the first house. But this also means that there's a native energy for the hands and the nails. So on a general level, Gemini rules the hands, the arms actually, the hands and the fingers. So if you cut your nails during a Gemini waxing moon, it's good. But you can also go for the native energy of your hands, which is the energy of your third house. So if you're a Virgo rising, so you have Virgo in the first house, Libra in the second house, and then Sagittarius. Scorpio. And then Scorpio in the third house. And this means that the best time for you to cut your nails and give them a nice shape is when there is a waxing Scorpio moon. And just apply this to your case. If you're a Leo rising, then first house is Leo, second house is Virgo, third house is Libra. That's the best time for you to give your nails a nice shape, to cut them and give them a nice shape when the moon is waxing in Libra. And so on. It's that simple. Okay, and this is for the parts of your yeah, never mind. Let's keep this video short. Yeah, so this has been the video. I hope this helps. Go shine.